Hello, and welcome back. This time around, we are playing Goetia. Now this, I got along with a couple other games during a Steam sale for Square Enix, where I got a number of good games that I cannot wait to play, one of which was this one. That was on for a fairly good price, and it looked like another point-and-click horror game, which I'm getting really into that sort of style of gameplay these days. From Metaphobia and Saint Kotar, those two games I've absolutely loved as point-and-click horror games. So I thought we'd go ahead and try this and see what it's going to do for us. Now, what I remember from the description of this is we play as the ghost of some girl or woman of some sort. And as a ghost, we have to go about solving some sort of mystery. So let's get into it and find out what the story is. Is this a gravestone? I can't see myself. There's no one here. Am I? No. This isn't right. Good. It seems I can still move. In a way. And I can also see things. But I don't feel anything. Stay calm. Something's wrong. Think, Abigail. I know this tree. I'm outside the manor. I just need to think. No, this is wrong. I need to find help. Father, Mother, Annie. Abigail writes down all her thoughts in her journal. Each time this note icon appears, you can see her latest ideas regarding recent events. Perhaps they'll reveal some hints about her next goal. Press J to open the journal. The Awakening. I'm Abigail Blackwood, daughter of Abraham and Helena Blackwood, Annie's sister. To be honest, that's all I remember. After the fall and my final scream, I don't really understand what I am or what's happening. I need to find help. I need to find my family. Abigail Blackwood, 1890 to 1902. Well, at least that makes things clear now. I like this tree, but in my memories it was a bit more impressive, even in winter. I remember the path to the village, but I'd rather stay here for now. I don't think I'm very presentable at the moment. That's strange. There's a hexagonal shape carved out of the pedestal, as if something had been taken out. I don't think I saw that before. This is actually a very nice art style. The gate is closed and covered in rust. How can I open it unless maybe I can go through it? Ah. So we're figuring out our ghostly powers. Blackwood Manor. just like my memories. I was born and died here. I remember this window. That's where I fell. It was cold. No leaves on the tree. We're still in winter, but I don't feel cold. Okay. I love the sound design here as well. The fluttering of the bats, the distant call of the birds, that slight musical undertone. So do we go across or up? Let's see what's up. Ben-Hur, A Tale of Christ by Lewis Wallace. Leaving a book out of its shelf is in Anne's habit. No. Someone has drawn symbols here. Does this have anything to do with the demonology father studies? I can't work out which demons these symbols represent. I really need help. How do I get in? Could I go? How do I get in? Going through the gate was easy, but such an obstacle? Well enough, it would seem. Impossible. It's terrifying, but rather handy. So out here would be where we came from. Who could have drawn this map? The names remind me of Father's studies, but he would never have taken his documents out of his office. So this is where we are. Oh, Hymen, Malthus, Farus, Nibiris, Boone, or Banet. Hymen, Malthus, and Farus I remember as part of the 72 demons of Solomon, right? So I'd assume Boone and Nibiris are as well, because I can't remember all of them. The Silver Labyrinth, Eldritch Forest. So Paimon was part of those yellow symbols we were seeing. Anywhere that's blue is Malthus, anywhere that's green is Farus, and everywhere purple is Nibiris, whereas red is Boone. We have Field of Stone down here, so we want to check out this office here, right? Presumably. Each note, journal, book, and poster you read is stored in the codex. No need to retrace your steps. Everything is here. Press C to open the codex. Okay, so that's my map. The manor is empty, and there are no signs of its inhabitants. I can feel a presence, however, and it seems it was abandoned only recently. Some of the walls and ceilings bear sigils. I've seen them before. Father used to study them. Did he draw them? And why do they prevent me from going deeper into the manor? I might find answers on the upper floors, but first of all, I have to get through these barriers. Damaged tableware. The manor seemed abandoned. I don't understand. My grandparents used to hunt deer in the woods on the manor grounds. Good evening, Jack, Rufus, Ted, and Molly. Everything is so dilapidated. Small part of grandfather's mineral collection. So we should be here. These sheets have been folded neatly. Someone still cares about these things. The view of the manor in the fog. Something about this painting troubles me, but I can't tell what. Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. Something's written in the margins. Property of Alexander Hodgkin. That name's new to me. So this should place us in this area here. It doesn't look like any of the clocks in the manor are working, but I'm not particularly worried about that right now. Alice in Wonderland. What's this doing in Mother's library? There's a note hidden between the pages. The handwriting's rather clumsy. It doesn't look much different than mine. It must have been written by a child. I'm guessing this is all just actual Alice, and this is what we really need to care about. Edward. Alexander and I sneaked into Father's laboratory, and we found something interesting. There's this weird powder. I will show you how it reveals hidden writing. Know this, you just have to pour the powder on the paper to reveal the ink. Alexander told me to keep some of it. Now we can start writing coded messages. So we need to find this powder. Books on botany and chemistry. Nothing that I would need right now. Oh. So these are some of the symbols from the Lesser Key of Solomon, or at least they look like it. Alchemic symbols. A puzzle of some sort. One of Father's most disconcerting hobbies. Collecting keys for which there is no keyhole. I mean, I used to do that. Find keys laying around town, throughout the house, try and find what locks fit to them. Ending up with a whole drawer full. I never really liked newspapers. Wait. The 2nd of February, 1941. No, that can't. It's been 39 years. That's impossible. This is a nightmare. So it's been 40 years since we've died. These don't look like Mother's plants. She always liked flowers better. Someone's been looking after them, though. So I can't go that way. What's this? Different plants, different books. Something's going on here. Annie and I often spied on Father in his office through the wooden floorboards, but I'm too worried to try that now. So this should be Father's office then. Father's office, his safe haven, the place where he did all his experiments, esoteric or otherwise. I like this place. If Father's at the manor, this is where I'll find him. But can people see me? I won't be able to talk to him. And what will he do if somehow recognizes me? Everything's so inconsistent, different, but also similar. Maybe I should find more hints about what's going on before I see him. Okay, so let's go find something else. So, we don't want to go to Father's just yet. Nothing to say about the painting. So we can't go further up. And I'll need to release the seal of Paimon. Even this face wasn't quite as dull looking before. Was my mind playing tricks on me? Ivy inside the manor? This is starting to look like a bad dream. Candles are lit. There must be someone around. Father usually works late at night. The wallpaper wasn't torn before. Miss Ward would have never allowed that. Am I really at the manor? So there's gotta be some sort of puzzle I'm able to solve. Now looking at this symbol, this would be the symbol for Malthus. right? So what can I do about that? I never seen this dresser open. I think Father was hiding something important inside. But I can't open it. You're a ghost. Go through it. Oh. Why would anyone hide the Virgin Mary behind lock and key? Okay, so I have this now. I really want to know what this switch is for. Flick it. Oh. Some accounting invoices and deeds of property. What's this? Copy. Certified copy of an entry of death. Okay. The 27th of October 1939. Abraham Edward Christopher Blackwood. So that's when Father died. Male. 76 years old. Pretty good for the time, I think. Professor of literature. Lung cancer. Oh. A death certificate with Father's name on it. It's impossible. I can't believe it. He was 76, but how? What happened to me? What about Mother and Annie? 1939? My last memory dates back to 1902. This must be a bad dream. So much of this doesn't make any sense at all. I need to understand what's going on. Father's office. He must have taken notes. Maybe his research can help me. I guess I'm just possessing this now. Oh, I can open the door. How very intriguing. Now we enter Father's office. Books about magic, not a science I'm familiar with. These books seem important and are well worn. Have you ever heard the story of Icarus, who flew too close to the sun? Let me tell you our version of that ancient story. A man who thought himself a great alchemist and master of the elements of nature found an old forgotten grimoire that would teach him to summon demons and command them to carry out whatever he wanted. Now this man gained his power by following the lead of those before him. That is to say, he had used the results from experiments performed by other masters to appear wise to those around him. However, while he was good at applying that which he had learned from others, his ability to think on his feet and to reason was lacking. This man loved a woman who he had never spoken to. He watched her from afar, admiring her beauty and dreaming of what it would be like as if she were his wife. He spent so much time in the world of fantasy where she was his that his obsession started to take a toll on him. He couldn't sleep, eat, and became isolated from his friends. The directions in the book were clearly laid out, and because of his adeptness at following instructions in his alchemical manuals, he thought he would master demons as quickly as he mastered alchemy. Out of desperation for this woman, he summoned a demon named Beleth, who it was said to create love between man and woman. Sensing his desperation, the demon came to his summons, and the man was sure that it was his skill that brought Beleth to him so quickly. He commanded the demon to bring his love to him with haste and without harm befalling her. The demon laughed, saying it was an easy enough task, as the woman felt the same way as the man, but he would require a single action from the man to start success. Ecstatic, the man agreed to whatever Beleth needed to accomplish the task. The demon dictated a love letter to him, telling him to send it to his love on a specific date, using the exact words he gave him. After the man dismissed the demon, he immediately wrote the letter that Beleth had dictated to him, word for word, and set it aside, waiting for the appointed day to mail his note. When the day came to mail the letter, his love went to the spiritualist to speak to her beloved mother, who had passed when she was young. When the medium called the spirit of her mother, Beleth came in disguise and told her of the letter she would receive. He told her that the man who wrote it was a necromancer and meant to do her family harm. Knowing exactly what the man had written, Beleth easily scared off the man's love and destroyed his reputation in the process. Just like Icarus, this overconfidence had destroyed him. However, he could learn one more lesson. Without the ability to reason, to create, and innovate, a master is not a master. Never take what you read or see at face value, and that includes anything and everything that I write you. That was a nice little story. Father may not have been fond of horses. This statue is gorgeous, but I don't remember it either. There is a massive book on the shelf. It must be important. It might be somewhat altered, but even so, there's no way I can read that book without finding a way to get it out of the showcase. Mother, since you will not listen to reason, I must stop you myself. I apologize for stealing your notes, but I see no other way. Gabriel may be the oldest, but he has no idea what you are up to. I'll be back for young Edward and Robert. I forbid you from trying anything with them, or you will dearly regret it. This has all gone on long enough. Farewell, A. So is A Abraham or the new tenant of the house? I don't recognize Father's handwriting on this notebook. Writing a journal has never interested me up until now, but these past few days I felt a need for it. All these things are crowding my mind and I can rarely sleep. I found Father's precious notes today. I discovered what took up all his time. An invisible collection of documents. An incredible collection of documents. Vague references and crazy writings about demons and seals. Names I know nothing about. Enigmatic symbols, drawings, a huge number of documents. Documents he used to share with my sweet Abigail an eternity ago. My first instinct was to close this box and put it back where I found it, but curiosity is consuming me. I vicariously reading Father's documents, and I'm starting to make sense out of them. Maybe he wasn't as mad as his isolation led on. What I took for a time-consuming hobby was actually an in-depth study of our ancient cult named Goetia. The idea of it still seems crazy, and maybe it is. Goetia was used to call forth demons to ask questions on favors of them. A very human tradition, but these summonings seem to have been possible. Father seems interested in 5 of these demons: Malthus, Boon, Paimon, Theris, and Abiris. These notes are very detailed about rituals, formulas, personalities of each entity, strengths and weaknesses. I have difficulties believing they really exist. However, Father's studies are so thorough and precise that I am beginning to have doubts. Curiosity is guiding me towards knowledge. I tried some of the rituals this past week. I'm happy. I can isolate myself as I feel somewhat ridiculous saying out the loud summoning words taken from the strange language. I've had no success as of yet. The quest is consuming me. I spend entire days writing down the questions I want to ask the demons as well as behaviors and words I should avoid in their presence. I chose Malthus. He seems to be the least damaged of the demons among those I read about. And I hope he's not so dangerous, but he doesn't seem to hear me. I'm growing desperate. War is coming. I can feel it. The people of Oak Marsh are different, nervous. The enemy is far out front. The enemy is far from our front door, however, and I can't stop feeling they are reacting strangely to my own presence. I couldn't explain this feeling. I feel feverish, confused. I can't sleep. I can't believe it. Malthus answered. I first perceived an inscrutable noise, as a huge hammering was hitting the walls around me. Then a wind filled the room, coming from under the doors. I swear I heard the rustle of feathers as if thousands of birds were flying around the room. When he started speaking to me, I froze, stunned to an utter single word. This demon, is practically charismatic. My first thought went to my beloved sister. Abigail would have been so impressed, astonished, moved even. I asked the questions I craved answers for. Was Abigail with him? Could he find her? He laughed. Malthus has a very charming laugh. Very soft. He told me he couldn't bring her back, but that she was well. I should feel calm, but my thirst for answers isn't calmed. Malthus and I are growing to know each other. It seems so strange to write this, and even more strange to live it. This demon is practically caring, and I sometimes forget he is an entity by far superior to us, poor humans. It seems I am for him a welcome distraction. He has little occasion to talk with the living these past 5 millennia. I sometimes think of my dear Joseph and feel a guilty relief that he should no longer be of this world. If Father were still alive, my research and my successes would have surely filled him with pride. And Abigail, who often mocked my fever, when faced with father's experiments. Can she only see me today? Would you be proud of your older sister? I keep my research far from my children's reach. They are too young to understand what it is at stake, but maybe I can start talking about it with Gabriel. I'm looking forward to sharing my knowledge of the rituals tied to Goetia, but maybe they suspect something. Alexander seems wary lately. They are here. They started bombing London yesterday. Mrs. Matthews and her husband left Oakmarsh a few days ago, leaving everything behind. I'm worried. What will my children grow up in? What world will my children grow up in? Can I even imagine what tomorrow will look like? When I asked Malthus, he had this amused look he often has, the one that annoys me so much. Arrogant heap of feathers, he doesn't care, of course. Hell is a far more peaceful place than Earth, he said. I exchanged a few words today with Elias, the Viscount. I couldn't stand not sharing my research. But his reaction surprised me. He told me I had been eagerly awaiting this day. Who other than me could know so much about this subject? The Viscount often offered me his help. How can a man of God conduct such research, trying to call forth demons? I think I'll accept his offer. I only browsed through some of Father's work, and the demonic invocation is only a small part of the Goetia. And I can't count on Malthus, who refuses to answer my questions on the subject. But that malicious bird can laugh as much as he wants. I'll get my answers. Oakmarsh is now empty. I have a ghost town at my door. Goetia isn't a discreet art, and I suppose the last rituals convinced the bravest of them to leave their homes. Let them go. I don't need their idiotic prejudices. When our enemy will be at our doors, at least I will have something to welcome them with. Gabriel, my sweet Gabriel, I was sure you'd understand. I love you so much. Robert, Edward, I hope you'll understand the importance of this quest. There's no hope left. I won't be here when these disgusting invaders arrive, but let them try and get close to my children. They'll regret it. Come and colonize Oakmarsh. See what I care. None of these shirtulated, short-sighted, short-sighted. Okay. None of these short-sighted villagers supported me when I needed it. They don't deserve to be remembered, but if they come inside Blackwood Manor, I will rain hell down upon them. Thank you, Anton Elias Pasteur. From the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. Everything will soon be ready. I won't be here to see the world crumble. You don't look so arrogant and mocking as before, Malthus. Don't worry. I'm not heartless. You won't be alone. A few friends will join you. The spell is sealed. Abigail, please wait for me. Hear me. Heed my call. Right, and we're Abigail, right? So was that our mother? Our mother taking up let me go back to the grave here, because I don't quite remember what our name is. Oh, I guess I can't. I'm pretty sure we're Abigail, though. Yeah, we're Abigail. So it seems our mother, or was that, no, our sister, took up our father's studies to summon Malthus. So what's this next room? Whose coat is this? The box contains some kind of white powder. Oh. A hollowed skull. One of Mother's eccentricities. I suppose it must have come from the upstairs library. I used to hide in this wardrobe. Annie never found me in here. The pen is mightier than the sword, and treasures do hide in the written word. I should try to remember this. Hello? Malthus? Feathers. Hello? Good evening, young lady. Who are you? Oh, come now, you wound me. We are already acquainted. Of course, it has been some time ago. You may not even have seen that I was there. I am one of the kind your father did so love to talk about, even if he elected not to teach you much about me in particular. My current form, shall we say, should be something of a hint. You're one of the demons father was studying, a raven. You must be Malthus? But demons don't exist. It was just an unpleasant hobby of his. I suppose. You must be right after all. That would be simply absurd, not unlike believing in ghosts, perhaps. I must say, I'm rather surprised to see you here right now. No matter, I'm almost flattered you recognize me. It seems that mankind has not quite forgotten about me yet. Not completely, at least. What is it you want? What do I want? Oh, I see. Abraham must have taught you what would be that I would require a favor if you were to interpret as to summon me. If you were... Alright, sorry. What do I want? Oh, I see. Abraham must have taught you that I would require a favor if you were so impertinent as to summon me. But in your case, young lady, I choose to appear before you. You did not summon me, and thus we can dispense with the quid pro quo. I suppose I simply wanted, well, chirp with someone perhaps. Chirp? Fine. What are you doing here? Now that is quite an interesting question. Would that I could answer it. You mean you don't know? Not exactly. I do not recall that I was summoned. But in a most unusual way, Annie, she called me, and we chirped for a time. So my sister did summon him. But she deceived me and trapped me within these walls. All I know is that some part of me remains in this cozy confines of hell, while the remainder, well, is in the manor itself, or something like that. Like when I possess an object. It does indeed seem that the same forces are at work here. Why are you preventing me from going any further? I'm doing nothing of the sort, or rather, not consciously. You see, my girl, we are both pure spirits here, and it seems that our essences cannot collaborate, shall we say. I promise you, I would simply love for you to proceed. I dare say that you are the only one who can free me. The sigils on the ceiling. Could it be a hint? Or an answer? Ah, such a keen mind. If it is not the answer itself, then it must be some part of it. My sigil is not complete in this form. I cannot be seen by man, much to my immense sorrow. The sigil you see only represents half of my being, the part that remains in hell. There is another sigil. In fact, it is the opposite of this one. It represents the part of me that is trapped here, among the living. Should you manage to find and decipher it, I would be free to leave this world. I knew you wanted something after all. Exposed, yes. It seems we both need each other. I expect that I can rely on you. You have Blackwood blood running through your veins, after all. If you'll pardon the expression. Wait. He disappeared. Not quite. Do keep up the good work, Abigail. Simply forget that I am watching your every move. Okay. That's cool. I'm really liking this now. The silver medallion holds a portrait of a dour-looking man with sharp eyes. This ruined tower reminds me of the one the villagers were talking about, in the woods on the estate. There's dear Miss Ward, the housekeeper, and she has her keys even in the painting. Edward Hodgkin, 1940, 10 years old. Alexander Hodgkin, August 1939, 28 years old. Annie Hodgkin, 1940. Our dear sister. Annie Hodgkin. Annie as a grown-up? I still recognize her though. Gabriel Hodgkin, February 1939, 31 years old. Seems everyone... The dates are all the same, it seems. Robert Hodgkins, 1940, 14 years old. It seems that everyone... If these were the dates of their death, everyone died within a couple months to a year of each other. These glasses are still full, as if people left in a hurry. Will I never know the taste of this wine? If I remember right, the newspaper we found dictated that this was 1949, so about 10 years after their death. This dumbwaiter is connected to the kitchen to the basement. it seems that there's something in the kitchen here. But we'll go this way first, if that's the proper method of action. This wardrobe is not really my style. That's a strange place for an office. It's a little notebook. Some of his pages have been torn away. Perhaps they're still around somewhere. I suppose I have to put it together. 4 wooden spheres ornate the front of this box. A word is written on each. An original ornament for such a box. A bronze statue is superb. Is it an eagle or a falcon? Details count. Okay. EJAD. OBELTOTHM. OTHM. SNOW. Okay, so I suppose I need to figure out what that word is. And this leads to the forest out back. The light shineth in darkness, and darkness compressed it not. Suppose I should finish exploring the house before we go into the forest. And so we have the dumbwaiter going into the kitchen below. However, I think we'll leave the story for there tonight, and we'll pick it up again in the next episode. So until then, good night, and have pleasant dreams.